Welcome, welcome, everyone. Good morning. It is lesson 59 of the Course in Miracles. This is our next to the last review. And the lessons we are reviewing today are lessons 41 through 45. They are as follows. 41, God goes with me wherever I go. 42 is God is my strength. Vision is his gift. 43, God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. 44, God is the light in which I see. And 45, God is the mind with which I think. God goes with me wherever I go. How can I be alone when God is always with me? How can I be doubtful and unsure of myself when perfect certainty abides in him? How can I be disturbed by anything when he rests in me in absolute peace? How can I suffer when love and joy surround me through him? Let me not cherish illusions about myself. I am perfect because God goes with me wherever I go. Number 2, God is my strength. Vision is his gift. Let me not look to my own eyes to see today. Let me be willing to exchange my pitiful illusion of seeing for the vision that is given by God. Christ's vision is his gift, and he has given it to me. Let me call upon this gift today so that this day may help me to understand eternity. Number 3, God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. I can see what God wants me to see. I cannot see anything else. Beyond his will lie only illusions. It is these I choose when I think I see apart from him. It is these I choose when I try to see through the body's eyes. Yet the vision of Christ has been given me to replace them. It is through this vision that I choose to see. Number 4, God is the light in which I see. I cannot see in darkness. God is the only light. Therefore, if I am to see, it must be through him. I have tried to define what seeing is, and I have been wrong. Now it is given me to understand that God is the light in which I see. Let me welcome vision and the happy world it will show me. And number 5, God is the mind with which I think. I have no thoughts I do not share with God. I have no thoughts apart from him because I have no mind apart from his. As a part of his mind, my thoughts are his and his thoughts are mine. It is amazing to me that we look at this and somehow we still created the image. We made up images that would say we are separate from God. God is my strength. God is my vision. God is my source. God is the light. And God is the mind with which I think. Clearly, that first comment, God is with me wherever I go, is 100% true. Because if he is our mind, if he is our true vision, if he is the light which helps us see, we are never apart from God. And yet we have made illusions that would put us in a place of utter darkness and put us in a place of utter separation. These lessons are reminding us that there is choice. We can have the light and we can choose not to look at the light. We can have a source and we can choose not to see what that source is providing for us. We can have thoughts and deny our thoughts. And so what we have done is denied that we are a part of God. If you consider what when I was sick and I was getting those little nigglings of maybe you should go see someone. Maybe this is bigger than, needing a detox, needing to clean up your diet, needing more exercise, whatever it is. Maybe you need to go get checked out. Those were thoughts that had been with me, and those were definitely guided thoughts. They were calm, they were quiet, but they were consistent, and I ignored them. I chose to deny those warnings. And so I made up illusions. I made up images of what else it could be. And then when I was willing to accept that there is information within me and my body knows when it's okay and when it's not okay, that I went and sought medical help. God is my source, God is my strength. And seeing clearly, vision, and the light with which to see with that vision is his gift. Certainly, again, when we are facing illnesses, when we are facing loss of any kind, the strength that gets us through those really difficult times is the strength that is God within us, because we resonate with that love. And so that utter despair that we feel, that utter grief and loss that we feel, um, still at its core, there is, I guess we would call it hope. Um, that is our truth. It's just uncovering it. I was looking at the full moon early this morning, and it was amazing. It was beautiful, but were clouds that were just sort of drifting by, and the moon was very consistent, very stable, and the clouds were drifting by, and um, the way that it looked was different depending on which you focused on. And so, if you looked at the clouds moving, you got one vantage point. If you looked at the moon, you got another vantage point. It was much easier to see those thoughts floating by when I was more focused on the moon than when I was focused on those thoughts, those clouds. Okay. So let me go to lesson 59 in Tina Spalding's A Year of Forgiveness. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. Here we are at lesson 59, reviewing many of the ideas and concepts that might be new to some of you. We want you to understand is that as you go through this shift and change in your consciousness, you will feel things that you have not experienced before. You might feel a resistance to your life as you have designed it. You must remember that your life reflects all the choices you have made with your free will. As you shift your consciousness using your free will, you shift what becomes tolerable to you. This is one of the most challenging aspects of doing A Course in Miracles. What was once tolerable becomes intolerable. This happens not because they make you suffer more, but because you have raised your frequency, your consciousness. So things you aligned with before no longer fit you. This can cause anxiety. It is important to trust this process. Remember, you trusted in the process of your indoctrination into Western society. Many of you are parents. What do you trust in terms of your society? You trust going to the hospital when you get sick. You trust vaccinating your children. You trust preparing them for school by teaching them to read. You trust teaching them good table manners. You trust, you trust, you trust. You use your free will to implement the rules of your society from the beginning of a child's life. That was done to you too. These are things very important to remember. As you go through these consciousness reassignment processes, you have things removed from you, from your mind, through your focus on truth. Things fall away. Things like indoctrinations, lies, and illusions you have held dear. Now you see they don't work for you. They give you something, but they do not provide you with the life you know you want. One of freedom, creativity, companionship, communion, love, and abundance. Beautiful, beautiful life. As you shift your consciousness and these things you once believed fall away, you feel a bit of anxiety because you see things you do that you don't want to do. You might have always known you didn't want to do them, but you tolerated it because of the frequency that you held. Now, as you step toward love, these unloving aspects of your life become glaring. We want you to take this transition slowly. First of all, acknowledge that some of the feelings you have are anxiety. You feel confusion, perhaps. How am I going to pull this off? How am I going to change some things that I don't even really want to change? If I change from what I have, that means I'm going to lose something. It means I'm going to lose something. Okay. If I change, sorry, if I change from what I have, that means I'm going to lose something, surely. It means I'm going to lose something. This is the story the ego will tell you, that repetitive, I'm going to lose something. If you choose loving things, you will shift your life frequency into the frequency that matches your consciousness. For example, if you have always plopped yourself on the couch at 7 o'clock at night with a bowl of unhealthy snacks and turned on your favorite entertainment show, this is the kind of thing you look at and go, wow, I enjoy doing this because I'm tired after a long day. But I can see that this is really not very loving to myself. It's certainly not loving to the people on the television show that are being picked apart or gossiped about. This is no longer the frequency that I'm holding at Lesson 59 in A Course in Miracles. What do I do? Make a small change. Instead of grabbing the unhealthy snack and putting your feet up and turning on the television, run yourself a nice bath, light some candles, put some oils in there, and get in and soak. Afterward, trim your toenails, put some cream on your feet, and spend that hour doing something nutritious and nurturing. Then you can plop down on the couch and do whatever it is you want to do. Do it a little bit at a time. If you see that you're not exercising at all, and you realize that some of the choices you make are not healthy, take the stairs once in a while. These are simple physical confirmations that you are shifting and changing. Good morning. Hi, Lynn. And now I've lost where I am. That you are shifting and changing. If you change direction a tiny bit and continue on that trajectory, you take yourself into a completely different life. Anxiety is the clue that you are battling yourself in your mind. Ooh, that's a big one. Anxiety is the clue that you are battling yourself in your mind. Things in your mind want to assert themselves, and there are new ideas saying, that's not such a good idea. What the mind wants is peace. And this is probably the higher mind. The anxiety, if you have it rising because you're learning new things and the old ones look unappealing, shows that the old is deeply entrenched and supported by thousands and thousands of indoctrination. The new seems a little weird, a little strange. The mind, small m, wants to get rid of the new. The mind's purpose is try to get back to peace, and it doesn't care how it does it. Drinking 3 martinis or watching a movie. It will do whatever you have been trained to do to alleviate anxiety. What we want to do as students of A Course in Miracles, becoming aware, is to say, anxiety means I have a lack of peace in my mind. It feels like fear because the mind cannot choose between belief systems. It wants to go to the devil it knows. We have introduced new and loving ideas that take the implementation of your free will to side with the more loving ideas. It reduces your stress if you understand what's happening. That is our lesson for today. It is enough. Read this again to see whether you can make notes of where you feel something wanting to change your life and the related anxiety. Where does it show up? Writing it down gets you out of your mind and gives you a hard copy that helps you see what you are doing. Practicing forgiveness in this form means you do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. You do not suddenly quit your job. You do not suddenly quit your marriage. You do not suddenly do anything. You subtly shift the decisions you make on a daily basis toward a more loving frequency, and then everything shifts because you choose love. You are choosing love. All you lose are the unloving things in your life you have been taught to do. The ways of eating and drinking and thinking and entertaining that are not loving and indoctrinated into you have consequences. They are not harmless. I am that one that you know as Jesus. We will speak to you again tomorrow. Ooh, that was a lot. So the things that come to mind as I'm pondering what that said are Think about what happens when you become aware that you are a smoker and smoking is bad for your health and you want to quit smoking. And once you actually quit smoking, many smokers find it intolerable to be around cigarette smoke. It is not just a holier than thou experience all the time. It is your frequency has gone up. And so you can sense that negative vibration that really is associated with today's cigarettes. They are not a sacred tool like they were once upon a time, the tobacco in and of itself. When you change your dietary habits and you go from eating, I don't know, a bunch of chips, ice cream, junk food all day long, and you start eating things like salads and fruits and vegetables, they become the norm. And when you indulge, when you splurge, when you binge, you don't tolerate those things the way that you used to. And so, a binge may go from, I don't know, from originally a dozen donuts every morning for breakfast to one donut or maybe even a half a donut. You don't tolerate things. So realize that you are changing your frequency, and unloving things are going to become less tolerable to you just by nature. Um, I can't watch a lot of shows that are for adrenaline junkies, if you will. It's not the way I operate. Yes, I'm a Hallmark movie girl. Um, I like shows with a lesson that are not about, action and violence and kill or be killed, because that's my frequency. And the other frequency, even of a movie, is assaultive to me. It's abrasive to me. And so I find it difficult to watch those things. You may discover that you were once an action junkie and you are not. Um, and realize that this is a reminder that these changes are not immediate. We all want to be at the finish line. We all want to get from A to Z, but we've got the entire alphabet we've got to work through, and we've got to pace ourselves. We're climbing the mountain and we're going up the mountain, and we want to take every turn, because if we do that, we're going to miss all of those cool things that we might have witnessed. Think about if you're on a hike and you go through the hike, or you take a shortcut, and when you get to the end, you wait for the other people who are hiking, and they come up to you and they tell you this amazing story about the wildlife that they have witnessed on that journey. Or they talk to you about the fact that there was a big rock that they had to scale in order to get to the top. But the exhilaration of overcoming that obstacle, of seeing that through, is incredible. And so you have missed all of those opportunities if you get someplace too quickly. Embrace the journey, embrace the little everyday changes. One change at a time is much more likely to stick than trying to go cold turkey with everything in your life. I hope you have a spectacular day, and I will talk to you all again later. Bye.